Welcome back to another episode of Harmonious at Lunch, the show that fuels your business success. I'm Brandon Barnum, your host and guide through the world of harmonious business growth. Today, we're unlocking powerful strategies with industry experts to help your business thrive. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or executive, you are in the right place. Join me and our incredible guest today on the journey to clarity, growth, and success. It is time to revolutionize your approach to business. Let's dive in with another episode of Harmonious at Lunch. Welcome back into some more bite-sized business advice. In today's episode, I am jacked up about. I absolutely love this topic. We're talking about sharing is caring. We're going back to kindergarten. We're talking about strategic partnerships and referrals and how 1 + 1 could equal 11 or way more than that. I guess we'll find out. But I have an awesome guest with me, Brandon Barnum. Welcome to the show, and thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Brandon.
This is, I'm really not lying. Like, I love this topic. I love growing through referrals and strategic partnerships. It's how I've built multiple business and sold some of them at this point. And I can't wait to hear your take on it. But tell me, where did this idea first strike you in the business world?
Yeah. So back at the beginning, right? In my 20s, I was in college. I found out you don't have to be married to have a kid. And so I was a dad at 22 and I became a single father at 24. At that point, I was making 20 grand a year and I wasn't making enough money to cover my mortgage because I had bought a house already and daycare. And so I had to make a change. I ended up getting in the mortgage business. And I had somebody mentor me in the art and science of what I now call raving referrals. And I was able to 10x my income from 20 grand to 200K in 18 months. And so ever since then, I've kind of been on a mission to help other people live that, unlock that financial freedom they desire and deserve. And so I spent 12 years in the mortgage business. It did $500 million in transactions, and that was awesome. And ever since then, I've been building tech platforms to help people grow their business by referral. And so it's been a 27-year-long journey to get to this point.
Yeah, that's amazing. Going from 20 grand to 200 grand in a year is really cool. And it's something that most people can't say. Unfortunately, nowadays, that's like my grocery bill with 3 kids is 200 grand a year. So, back when that happened, I'm sure it was way more meaningful. That's like
1997. It was awesome. It was.
Yeah, that's not to downplay it at all. That is an amazing achievement. But so tell me where we are now today. I see a lot of strategic partners, in the marketplace. You're seeing this more and more with big companies, right? As of the date of this recording, the Super Bowl happened to be yesterday, and you're starting to see in mainstream media companies coming together to reach broader audiences. That's kind of the whole point of strategic partnerships, right? Is you have clients that I could serve and vice versa. How can we do this though on a small business level? Because it seems easy. It seems simple, but not easy.
Well, it is simple and it is easy, but you're right. We got to break it down to the basics. And you're absolutely right. Big companies are doing this. You're seeing more and more collaborations where they come together and they cross market and they monetize their community by introducing other companies and products and services. And they're able to better offer better service to their clients and then increase revenue at the same time. So it's a brilliant strategy, but you can do it even if you're a solopreneur or an individual professional. Basically, what you do is you start by identifying what businesses or professionals are already serving my perfect prospects every day. And it usually breaks down into 1 of 2 categories. They're either serving business owners and businesses, or they're serving consumers. And we focus at homeowners at HOA.com, but it's either B2B or B2C for the most part. Now in B2B, 84% of all business to business sales start with a referral. So if you're selling B2B, you absolutely need to have somebody walking you in. They're your champion. And so what better thing to do than to create partnerships with other companies and professionals that are selling to business owners, because they've already won the trust, right? They're bringing you in through the back door and giving you the golden ticket to get the deal done. So first, you focus on who are you looking to serve. Second, you identify who do I already know that's in that industry. And we teach this thing called the referral partner blueprint. And in that process, you basically call or reach out to those people once you've identified them and you say, hey, I've realized I have a lot of clients that could use your services. And I'd like to get together and talk about creating a strategic alliance, a referral partnership, whatever term fits for you. Would you be interested in that conversation? You're going to get 100% buy-in. Like, we don't have anybody that ever says, no, I don't want more business. Or if they do, they're retiring, they usually introduce somebody else. So that's how it starts. And then you're getting into a conversation about how you can win more business together.
Yeah, I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about the blueprint you have. But before we get into that, how do you, as a business owner, make sure that you're not overstepping the line of becoming spammy, right? I mean, you don't want to just offer your clients some new service every day because you get a cut of it, and that's slimy to me. So how do we walk that line?
Yeah. So first of all, everything comes down to serve, don't sell.
Mm.
Always put your clients first. What's in the best interest for them, right? So it's not about you making money. It's about you solving challenges or improving their lives or their businesses. And when you come from that perspective, then you don't appear to be spammy. But look, we get these offers all the time from companies or professionals that say, hey, I've got a great service. I just used this. It made a difference in my life or my company. And I think you might benefit too. So as long as you're framing it as service, no one's going to feel like you're selling.
Yeah, I like that approach. And that's just a good way to do business in general, first of all. So that's in line. That checks out. So let's talk about your blueprint. We're reaching out to other companies who serve our ideal clients. Hopefully, you already know who your ideal clients are. That's a whole different podcast episode. But once you do that and you start to strike up these relationships, how do you start to manage them? How do you make sure the relationship itself with that other business stays intact, or with that referral partner, whatever we want to call them, and that we're continuing to serve both each other and both of our joint clients?
Yeah, so great question. I recommend number one, you sit down with them and then you create a plan for your partnership. And most people don't do this. In the referral partner blueprint, we've identified 21 different co-marketing campaigns, ways that you can come together. And it's basically a one-page checklist that you sit down with your partner and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to be on the lookout for referrals. The first one is pretty simple. I'm going to refer you clients when it makes sense for me and it makes sense for my client. The other one is an endorsement. You can help your partners by giving them endorsement. Give a quote. If they've helped you or your client, share your success story so they can add that, put it in LinkedIn, add it on their website, record a video for them. If you record a video of your success story, your testimonial, your endorsement, or your clients, now they're able to use that in their marketing. So you're helping them while at the same time they're promoting you to their clients, right? Podcast. This is one of the things that we teach. It's one of the 21. If you do a podcast, invite your partners on it. Share what you're doing with their audience and help share what you're doing with theirs, right? It's a co-marketing campaign. Newsletters are another, social posts, you can go live. There's so many different ways that you can promote your partners. Gift certificates. If you've got somebody that offers a free consultation, a discovery call, something along those lines, put a value on it, and then print an actual gift certificate and give it to your clients promoting your partners. And do that for your business as well. Give the gift of you is one of the things that I say. Make it easy for them to refer you by creating something that they can just take and pass on with their endorsement.
Yeah, I'm already starting to see how 1 + 1 = 11. Full disclosure, that was Brandon's line before we started recording. I know I'm also Brandon, a little confusing. My guest Brandon, but yeah, I mean, it makes so much sense, right? Because you're not just saying, I will give you clients, you give me either clients and or money in return. Now we're talking about marketing. We're talking about your brand image. We're talking about standing out in the marketplace. We're talking about unity between two companies. That is crazy valuable when we're talking about reaching even new potential clients. I'm thinking from the standpoint of, okay, if a new client doesn't know or has never worked with company A or B, but they're a joint partnership, that immediately looks stronger for both of them than companies C and D, who are both independent of each other. And that's where you can start to gain a lot of traction. So can you give me an example of how you've seen this done really, really well, where maybe two companies or a group of companies have come together to form a very strong alliance to serve their ideal clients?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just tell you a real world example because it's sort of pregnant for me right now. I run HOA.com. It's a tech platform, kind of next door meets Angie's List meets Zillow, focused on homeowner associations, right? And so we're getting ready to launch a new book, Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents. I'm partnering with Remax, and we're going to launch the book at their national convention, right? Another example is I've got this new certified HOA specialist designation. It's the first like certification of real estate experts in the HOA industry. That's never existed before. So I partner with a company called Resas. They have over 700,000 real estate agents in their community. They're going to promote it to all of their partners. Now, we are doing that on a rev share affiliate basis. So one of the things that we teach is referral rewards. Sometimes the best way to motivate is to compensate. And so you want to integrate that reason for people to share what you're doing. But there's so many. I mean, one of the things in my Raving Referrals book I talk about is Shaquille O'Neal, right? And Shaq is everywhere, right? I think I identified 32 different promotional partnerships. Now that's a celebrity endorsement, but it's really a partnership between two brands. And what Shaq does is he stands up there and he talks about Gold Bond, or he talks about Epson printers and things that you wouldn't think that Shaq would ever be talking about, right? The General Insurance, but what happens is they want that celebrity endorsement because it elevates trust in their brand. And that's really the strategy we're talking about with co-marketing. When another company endorses you or your products, your services, their clients and customers have an elevated trust factor of you and what you deliver. And that's what you're looking to manufacture through the referral partner blueprint process.
Shaq is such a good example of that. I mean, you're right. That dude is literally everywhere. I saw a commercial, or not a commercial, an ad on social media with him this morning, sitting on a car with Jimmy Johnson promoting their race car for Carvana. I'm like, what does he not have his fingers in? But his hands are so big that they're by default they are everywhere, right? That's a great example. I want to go back a little bit to Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents. I would love to pick this apart a little bit because you couldn't have hit the nail on the head any better. You partnered with Remax, who probably has the most agents nationwide, or they're in the top 3 or 5.
They're number 2. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So that is your ideal avatar for that product, and you're able to present in front of them at their annual gathering. I mean, is there any more perfect example of a strategic alliance, right? How did that go down? Like, what are you able to say what that process looked like so we can model it?
So full disclosure, one of our investors owns all the Remax franchises for the Caribbean and Central America. So he's got 100 offices and 1,000 agents. And he got me a sit down with the CEO and the SVP, and I showed him what we're building at HOA.com and creating unity through community. And they went, wow, we love that. And 55% of their agents are in the US. They have 144,000 agents. 45% are outside of the US. And for me, I love Remax specifically because back in the day, let's see if I have this here. I do. Yes. My mom was an agent for Remax.
Oh, that's incredible.
So this is like the origin story, because back in 1994, over 30 years ago, my mom was with Remax. So I'm a fan of the brand, always have been. But my investor set me up, had the meeting, and we were able to do something together. Now, let me talk about the book, because this is like the ultimate version of co-marketing. So in the back of my books, this is my last book, Raving Referrals for Mortgage Pros, I feature experts and influencers. I feature the most influential people in the industry with a profile talking about who they are and what they're doing, right? I also feature the top podcasts. So it's fun that we're doing this on a podcast, right? So I have a section on podcasts, all the top podcasts in the mortgage industry. And then I also have a section called resources, all of the companies that are serving in this case, the mortgage industry, and soon to be the real estate industry. Now, in the real estate book, I've added another category, which is industry icons, kind of experts and influencers, but the experts and influencers are the social media leaders. And the people that we've featured, I forget how many there are in the influencer category, have 45 million followers on social media. right? The podcasters have the ear of the entire industry. The industry icons are the companies that I want to go speak on their stages and have them interview me and then them promote me. But I start with a give. So literally the first touch point in this connection process, and I'm in it right now. Right now, we've done step one of this co-marketing process, which is I've reached out to all of them and I've said, congratulations, you're being featured in my upcoming book, Raving Referrals for Real Estate Agents. Here's what I'm saying about you. Please let me know if you have any corrections or any improvements you'd like to make. So first step, just to give, no ask whatsoever. I'm just about done with the advanced reader copy. I'll have it today. And the next step in the marketing process is to reach out to them and say, congratulations again. So excited to have you. Just so you can review it, here's a copy of the book. I'm going to email them a link to the PDF before it's ever published. They can look at their profile. They can see who I'm promoting, including them, and they're going to get behind the book. And then I'm saying, if you'd like to include an endorsement, if you'd like to give me a quote on how you think this book is going to impact the industry, then I can also promote you in the beginning of the book in the endorsement section, as well as on social media. So I'll create a social graphic. Again, give number two, right? Give, give, give. I think it's Gary Vee says, give, 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 jab, or something like that, or jab, jab, jab. Anyway, his is different, right? Mine is give, 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 ask. Give, 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 ask. And so the first three are just gives. And then the ask is, help us make this a #1 bestseller, right? Pre-order the book. And when it launches, share it on social media. And so we give them sort of the copy of what to say, what to do. We're going to feature them on our social media, announcing them as an expert or an industry icon or a recommended podcast. And so every day we have content that's not about us. It's all about them, the people in the industry that everybody already knows and respects. So that is completely a co-marketing campaign. I am co-opting companies and influencers and leaders into our book. And by the way, we have a continuing education course for realtors. I'm enrolling certified trainers, mortgage lenders, and others that want to stand on stages in front of realtors and teach our turnkey content. So it's an entire ecosystem in play, all designed to enroll the people that already have the relationships with our perfect prospect and can help. I help them help the others, and everybody wins in the process.
I'm like ready to jump out of my chair. I'm so excited because I love everything you're saying. But can I point out the little nuance there too with your first give? Yeah. I love how you don't ask to give. You just go right to saying, I'm doing this. Here it is, so you can look over it. Now, I'm sure some people will have issues. I have to run this past our legal department, make sure it's cool. That's fine. Yeah. But I think when you approach people and you say, can I give you this? They're immediately thinking, oh, what else are they going to ask me for? Versus that little shift of just saying, I'm doing this for you. That's so, so powerful. I mean, across the rest of the masterclass that you just gave in the last 3 minutes, that was just one tiny little thing. I want to keep talking to you, but I also want to stop talking to you so I can go buy your book and read it and just eat this whole thing up because I'm so excited. So tell me, where can the audience go grab a copy of your book and learn more about you?
Yeah, book is on Amazon. You can check it out. Raving Referrals is the general one. There are a few specialty books like for dentists and for mortgage pros, and we're creating a whole line. But if you want to learn more about me, just go to brandonbarnum.com. You can learn about some of the things that I'm doing and tie into some of the tools that we have for you. The Referral Partner Blueprint is available there. You can take your referral score quiz there as well and find out how you rate when it comes to the top 10 best practices for referrals.
Amazing. I love it. I also tossed ravingreferrals.com on the screen. Awesome. We'll make sure to have all of that down below in the show notes, wherever you're watching or listening. So you can take action on whichever one of those links, if not all of them, you want to go visit. Brandon, I can't thank you enough for being here today. This was an amazing episode.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Brandon.
For those of you watching and listening, thanks for being here. We'll see you on tomorrow's episode of Harmonious at Lunch. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Harmonious at Lunch podcast. Make sure you subscribe on whatever platform you're on, and we want to invite you to join us in the Small Business Success Facebook group, our private group where guests and listeners come together to grow your business. We want impact-driven entrepreneurs who are ready to go to the next level in this group so we can all share ideas, collaborate, and grow our businesses together. Go to whatif.com/group, and we want to invite you to join today. See you on the next episode of Harmonious at Lunch.